What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode in our journey to build the ultimate Game Boy collection. Last time, we began to make our collection a little prettier, using cassette cases to create art and to store our games. And today, we're going to expand an idea a little bit more, plus add a good chunk of games to the collection. So come along for the ride as we keep on building the ultimate Game Boy collection. I actually got a bit lucky and started this journey right around my birthday, so it's a better gift to ask for than some more games. I gave my friends and family my Google sheet of what I'm looking for, and they came through in a big way. So now we can happily add Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards and Recipe of Destruction, Monopoly, the original Tetris, Toy Story 2, and even a copy of Dragon Ball Z Boost Fury to the collection. Also, with some birthday money, I picked up this copy of Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2004 at my local game shop for $15, so we made a bit of a dent in our Yu-Gi-Oh! Game Boy hunt. With a little bit of leftover money, I put an order in for a few games from LuckyGames.com, a site I've been using for quite a while now. Here I picked up a ton of cheaper Game Boy Advance games, including The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Tipped and Caper, Nicktoons Freeze Frame Frenzy, Candyland Shoots and Ladders in Memory, Nicktoons Collection Volume 2, the GBA video, Rugrats Go Wild and Rugrats Castle Capers, Snood, Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX, and Paws and Claws Pet Resort. All these games are less than $5 each and only came at $26 total. Now, as I get the games, I've been printing out the cases for them. Here we have some for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games and Boost Fury as an example. But I noticed I was quickly running into a problem. I've been finding most of our art just by browsing Reddit and the cover project, but there's a lot of games where the cassette art hasn't been made yet. So I guess we have no choice. We're gonna have to make it ourselves. Let me be the first to say, this seemed like a very difficult thing for me to do. Even the thought of Photoshop makes me freeze up. I'm clueless on how to use it no matter how hard I try to learn. But after doing some digging, I realized it's not all that difficult to do, and we don't even need to use Photoshop for it. To make our cases, we're gonna be using the free software Paint.net. I was able to find a template for a standard case online, so we'll be using this as our base image. Now to pick our game. Let's use one of our Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, the Eternal Duelist Soul as an example. Step 1 is easy. First, we need the front artwork. A quick Google search can find us that. Once we have our image, all we have to do is throw it into our picture, making a new layer below the rest, and resize the image, and step 1 is complete. Easy. Now for the tricky parts, the spine and the back. Here's how I did it. Going back to the cover project, I grabbed the DS case cover and threw it into our Paint.net workspace. Here, with the trim tool, I selected the spine from the image, cut it, and paste it right into our case. Now we just gotta resize it to fit the spine, and there's only one step left. Now, I already know I'm doing this part way more difficult than I need to, but this was the only way I seemed to get it to work. I knew for the back, I just wanted one solid color, the one that matched the spine the best, but I could never get the color option in Paint.net to work. That's why I ended up just Googling a plain background of the color I wanted to use, and then much like the DS case, brought that image into our workspace, trimmed, cut, paste, and resized right to our image. Now that we have our final image, we just have to flatten the image so everything is out on one big layer, and we can export it and it's ready to be printed. Believe it or not, it only took me about an hour to make all of our Game Boy Advances into cases. With the exception of our GBA video cart, I just can't seem to find the right images to make that one work. Over the next few days, I'll make the Game Boy and Game Boy Color cases, but for the meantime, I'm planning on waiting until I have a proper display case before I print majority of our cases out. Remember, our boxes only fit 25 at a time, but at least we'll have them all ready for when the time comes. For today's video, we added a whopping 17 games to our collection, 2 Game Boy games, 2 Game Boy Color games, and 13 Game Boy Advance games for a total of $43, bringing our totals to 12 Game Boy games, 10 Game Boy Color games, and 53 Game Boy Advance games, and our total spent for the challenge up to $161.19. Thank you all again for watching. Be sure to be subscribed and stay up to date on our collection, and tune in next time as we shift our focus to the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color in our journey to build the ultimate Game Boy collection.